All right, boys and girls. So today I'm going to read to you Don't Be an Uncle Max by David A. Adler. So while I'm reading this to you, you can stop, pause the recording anytime to work on filling out your story elements. All right, here we go. Don't be an Uncle Max. I held out my arms and said, "Ma, you don't understand." And she didn't. There's a school rule. If a teacher checks homework, you do it. If the teacher doesn't, you don't. Joanne, Mom said, could you please tell me where you learned that rule? Is that one of those restorable questions, I ask? It's rhetorical question, Mom said, not restorable. Well, you don't have to answer that kind of question, so I didn't. Listen, I said, the first time she gives us history homework, I did it. I even looked in the book. Some of the answers would be right. But when Miss Taylor checked her homework, she didn't even read what I wrote. Then she didn't even put a mark on it. So I decided to let her keep looking at the homework until she did read it. Are you telling me you've been showing her the same paper since September? I didn't answer. I was hoping that was another one of those restorable questions. Well, my mother said loudly. I nodded. Mom's eyes opened wide, like the time she found worms and snails in my lunchbox. It's the middle of January. You haven't done your homework for 4 months? She was wrong, so I corrected her. It's only January 12th. January has 31 days, so the middle would be the 16th at noon. Mom looked ready to shout again, but she didn't. That's because I was right. She quietly counted to 10. She does that sometimes when she thinks she's getting too angry. It's a problem she has. 7, 8, 9, 10. Mom looked at the note Mrs. Taylor had sent home and started counting again. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mom took a deep breath and then said, well, from now on, your father and I will check your homework, and you can be sure we'll read it. No, they won't. All right, Sloppy. For the next week, there won't be any dessert in your lunch. Mom gives me homemade brownies, but I called them Burnties. I tried feeding the Burnties to the pigeons. They wouldn't even eat them either. And you're having a birthday soon. If we get another deficiency letter, you won't get any presents. I waited. Mom had something else to say, and I knew what it was. You're just like your Uncle Max. Max is Mom's brother. I'd love to be like Uncle Max. He doesn't like to shave, so he grew a beard. I probably don't like to shave either, but I can't grow a beard. I'm too young, and I'm a girl. Mom said, Uncle Max didn't do homework, and now look at him. Uncle Max travels to lots of great places. In November, he sent me a postcard from Alaska. Dear Joe, he wrote, I work in a general store, and we sell just about everything except generals. What I love most here are the people, the sleds, the scenery, and the snow. Love, Uncle Max. Mom says Uncle Max can't keep a job, that he always gets fired. That's why he keeps moving. She says he's irresponsible. Dad says other things about Uncle Max, but I'm not allowed to repeat them. Uncle Max sends me the best gifts. He once sent me a bird's nest that the birds didn't need because they moved. He sent me cat bones, skin that a snake crawled out of, and snails that people eat, only I didn't. I told Uncle Max that I couldn't have a pet because my dad is allergic. He wrote me, don't worry, Joe, I'll take care of it, and he did. 2 months later, he sent me a big box. Inside was an old bird cage he had found in painted gold. Taped onto the perch was a cardboard letter J that he colored blue. I call him Tweets. He's my pet blue jay. Uncle Max trained Tweets before he sent him to me. Tweets doesn't fly out even if I leave, even if I leave the cage door open. And at night, when I pretend to be asleep, he's real quiet and pretends to be asleep too. Just sit right here where I can watch you, Mom said, and do your homework. I put my books on the kitchen table next to Mom's pink and blue alphabet beads. It's for her business. She makes baby bracelets with the babies' names inside. I told her she can write anything because babies can't read, but she still tries to spell their names right. I had home history homework all about George Washington. He had false teeth made of wood. I had math homework and science homework too. I did it all. I wonder if children in Alaska had to do homework. The next morning, before I went to school, Dad held my hands and looked into my eyes. Here it comes, I thought, and it did. Don't be an Uncle Max, he told me. Dad hadn't shaved yet, and he had burnt toast crumbs and butter on his lip and chin. He looked like a grizzly bear. I would love to be an Uncle Max. I'd love to live in Alaska and not do any homework. I didn't tell Dad that, but that's what I was thinking. For the next few days, Mrs. Taylor actually read my homework. Then she began calling on me in class. It was horrible and had to stop. So I called out a few times and yelled, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." Mrs. Taylor got real angry with me. She refused to call on me anymore. That was just what I wanted. Then one night, Dad came home with a large package. He kept it behind his back until he was sure no one was watching. He hid it in the front closet. I watched the reflection in the glass on one of the baby pictures on the wall. I made a good spy. Dad went upstairs and I went to the closet. The box was wrapped in happy birthday paper, so I knew it was for me. It was big, but not too heavy. I tried to slide the paper off, but there was tape all over. I shook it, but nothing rattled. Clothing. Yuck. I heard Dad coming downstairs. I ran to the kitchen and pretended to be doing homework. At dinner, I said please and thank you and all those good manner words. Mom likes that. After dinner, I spoke to her. If you want to know what I want for my birthday, it's a spy kit. Mom didn't say anything, but she heard me. I did homework all week, and sometimes I even looked in the book. So I know some of the answers I wrote were right. Then, 2 days before my birthday, a delivery company brought a box to the house. It was wrapped in brown paper. It was from Uncle Max. The delivery woman gave it to Mom. The box was addressed to her, but I knew it was for me. Mom took it upstairs. After dinner, I looked for the box. I wasn't going to open it. I just wanted to know how heavy it was and if it would rattle when I shook it. I couldn't find the box. Mom is pretty good at hiding things. And I couldn't find the spy kit I hoped Mom had bought for me. The box was about the size of one of those small television sets. I could stay up all night and watch television in my room. Or maybe Uncle Max sent me a bug, not the kind that crawls, but the kind that spies use to listen in on people's conversations. A snake. Uncle Max knows I want one, and Dad isn't allergic to snakes because they don't have fur or feathers. In school the next morning, I said, ooh, 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 a few times and jumped out of my seat. I waved both my hands up and down and then in large circles. Mrs. Taylor said, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'm not calling on you until you learn to raise your hand properly. That was just what I wanted. Now, I was free to think about what Uncle Max had sent me. A shortwave radio, a longwave radio, Alaskan golds, crocodile teeth, boxing gloves, a calculator watch that makes phone calls. Diana has one. It sounds like a touch-tone telephone and can actually call somebody, but it doesn't talk to them. On the morning of my birthday, we all ate breakfast together. In my family, on birthdays, you always have cake for breakfast. Mom lit the candles on the cake. Dad sang happy birthday to me. The cake was gooey and chocolatey, just the way I like it. I ate 2 big pieces. Then came the presents. This is from me, Dad said, and he gave me the box that didn't rattle. I opened it, a dark blue sweater with fake pearls sewn on it. Yuck. Thank you, Dad. It's beautiful. And this is from me, Mom said, and gave me a small box. I knew it wasn't the spy kit because that comes in a big box. I opened it. A periscope. Neat. Now I could do some serious spying. Thanks, Mom. There were other presents, but nothing great. Then Mom gave me the box from Uncle Max. Don't open it yet, Mom said. There's a note. Mom reached over and took the envelope off the top of the box and tore the envelope open. The box was light. Dear Joe, Mom read, Happy birthday. I'm leaving Alaska soon. I wanted you to get something special and expensive, but I needed lots of money for plane fare to Brazil. That's where I'm going next. I decided to send you one of the things I'll miss most when I leave this beautiful place. I shook the box. It didn't rattle. I tore off the brown paper. The box lid was taped closed, and the tape wouldn't come off. Dad cut it with a knife and then gave the box back to me. I opened the box. What? The box was empty. I looked at my parents and then in the box again. It was a little wet. I turned the box upside down and shook it. A small piece of paper fell out, another note from Uncle Max. He wrote, "This box is filled with Alaska snow and lots of love." Wow, only Uncle Max would think of sending me snow from Alaska. Isn't he great? That's a restorable question. I read the note again. Uncle Max always sent me lots of love. Sometimes I really need that. I taped the box closed again so none of the love would fall out. All right, so take some time and fill in the rest of your story elements for Don't Be an Uncle Max. Thank you.